Whenever we aerate the golf course, whether it be in the spring or the fall, I often get questions about the timing of the aerification process. How do you choose the dates that you do? Why can't you go earlier in the spring? Why can't you go later in the fall? In fact, why couldn't you just aerate the golf course after the golf course closes and the membership goes away? There are three main answers to the question about timing for us. The first one is recovery. The second one is the status of our labor force in the turf care department. And the third one is we want to minimize the impact on club events and the membership as a whole. But the main driver, as I just mentioned, is recovery. We want the turf in the healthiest state possible so that it will recover as quick as possible. If we did it earlier in the spring, later in the fall, or even after we closed, the turf would not have the ability to recover, and therefore we actually might set the greens back even farther. Think of it as like a patient going in for surgery. If a surgeon had the choice of a patient going in, would they want him in a healthy state or would they want him in an unhealthy state? They'd want him in a healthy state. That way they recover faster. That's what we're doing with the turf. The second reason is labor. We want a strong labor force. As you've seen in other videos, we put the turf through a lot of cultural practices. We use a lot of hand labor to sweep in the sand. We vent the greens. We aerate the greens. We're working on our fairways. We're aerating our tees. There's a lot going on. We want the strongest possible labor force. And just at the end of August, that's when our labor force is starting to run out. So we want a strong labor force that can help minimize the impact on the membership by helping the greens to recover as quick as possible. And finally, as I mentioned, we want to minimize the impact on the membership as a whole. We want the tee sheet starts to get compressed in September. We have frost delays and things like that, so we don't want to be aerating there. We also don't want to impact club championship and other club events, men's night closing, ladies closing in September. So that's the reason we choose the end of August. So recovery, a strong labor force, minimizing the impact on the membership and on the tee sheet, that's the reason we choose the dates we do. Thanks for tuning in.